Hi, I'm PG Siegel, and you're watching Kick-Ass Turkeys. You're watching Kick-Ass Turkeys. This is the video series that examines and discusses movies that kick ass, not only in spite of the fact that they're turkeys, but in most cases, because they're turkeys. Good day to you. My name's PG Siegel. Today's movie is the 1974 theatrical release, A Night for the Ladies. Actually, when it was released on video, they changed the name to Jack the Ripper Goes West, so that's what we'll refer to it as. But anyway, the main plot of Jack the Ripper Goes West is that the small southwestern desert town of Mescal is being plagued by a bunch of Jack the Ripper style murders. Now, of course, this has left the sheriff stumped. The town's banker decides to call in a big city detective to try to come in and solve the case. Well, of course, this doesn't set too well with the sheriff, who's beginning to feel like a failure anyway. And he confronts the detective and accuses him and says, well, you need to go. And of course, the big city detective says, no, I don't. And they both get in an argument and they don't like each other, and they both point their finger at the other one saying, you're just going to get in the way. But after, let's call it a manly discussion, they both do have, realize that they do have some respect for each other, and they decide to join forces to solve the case.
You're a better man than I gave you credit for. And you, Mr. Colcord, are everything I was afraid you would be.
Now, this movie, of course, is a kick-ass turkey. It's so bad that it's good. First of all, though, I'm going to have to tell you the one thing that takes away from it being a kick-ass turkey. The acting isn't all that bad. Now, of course, the dialogue, which is cheesy and too quick and not very good, does take away from the acting ability. And so often, some of these actors got their start in bad movies. Well, this is far from the start of any of these actors. Here you're going to see Jack Elam. Jack Elam, you can check this out yourself, has literally had, actually, the late Jack Elam. Now, he's been dead for a while. But anyway, the late Jack Elam, he had numerous credits, literally hundreds of credits in film and television. The same goes here for Ruth Roman, who plays the widow of the town founder, Elizabeth Mescal. And she is the same. She's had literally hundreds of credits on television and movies, including recurring roles on Murder, She Wrote and Knots Landing. And also, here you'll see Jeff Cooper. Now, this was sort of early in his career. Wasn't the beginning, but sort of early in his career. And come to find out, later on, he played Dr. Simon Elby, which was a recurring role in the television show Dallas. But what does make this a kick-ass turkey? Okay, first of all, this movie is only 51 minutes long. Okay, and what they try to do, in order, and that's barely enough time to get the plot out. But what they try to do is they try to explain the existential crises of the townspeople. Okay, first of all, you've got the sheriff. The sheriff, the town, of course, is failing. The sheriff has spent his life trying to make Mescal a better place to live. He feels like he's wasted his life because soon there's not going to be any Mescal. Also, the town founder, she's suffering with one. Her husband is dead. Her son was one of the first victims of this murderer. So she feels like her legacy is gone, and there's not even going to be a town to carry on the name of Mescal.
If I seem mired in self-pity, I'm sorry. It's unavoidable for me.
Then there's the saloon keeper. The saloon keeper aspires to be sheriff, but of course he just doesn't quite make the mark. And to try to impress the townspeople, he does deliver some vigilante-style justice, which sadly in this case is wrong, which actually added another subplot to it, which had to be solved too fast, which actually made the movie that much worse. And then number 4, we have the barber/undertaker. Basically, they give him some speaking parts as far as what his motivation is, which actually makes for a small subplot as well.
Compassion? Think being a town undertaker is my life's ambition? I cut hair, I shave beards, and I bury people for one reason only. Money.
Okay, so there we have a main plot, 5 subplots, in a movie that's only 51 minutes long. Okay, to get all this out, they had to make the dialogue quick and cheesy and overstated. You don't have time to figure anything out, so they have to come out and say it. Now, as far as that goes, that gives this movie a great lampoon value. I dare say that there is a section of dialogue that something can't be said about it, that it can't be lampooned or made fun of. Mystery Science Theater would have had a ball with this film had it not been so short. If you're into cheesy movies that are great to make fun of, that are so bad they're good, that move so fast you can't get bored with it, I do recommend Jack the Ripper Goes West. Okay, I'm going to give this on a scale of 5 kick-ass turkeys. I think I'll have to give it a 4. It doesn't get a 5 because the acting wasn't that bad, but I will give it a 4. I highly recommend that you pick up a copy of this movie and have a great time firing up a fatty and having a lampoon's fest about it. That's all for this installment of Kick-Ass Turkeys. Again, today's movie was called Jack the Ripper Goes West. I do recommend you check that out. If movies that are so bad that they're good are your thing, you'll really enjoy it. Do keep stopping by the channel from time to time. I'm going to try to update and do another movie every so often. I do hope to see you again. And thank you for watching. I'm PGC.